What's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the Black American female, #1 soul sister. Thank you for watching. This will be my first installment in a series called Living with Sickle Cell Anemia. With this series, I hope to be an inspiration to anyone dealing with a health problem, especially to all the sickle cell warriors out there. It might be cliche and even stereotypical to say, but I feel like I'm the epitome of Black African American in America, carrying an undeniable link to the African continent, specifically the West African slave trade. And tonight I wanted to talk about my most recent visit to the ER, talk about some of the treatments that I was given and some of the revelations I received after my release. So my most recent sickle cell crisis, it really had me for a total of 16 days. When I say had me, I mean it had me. It had me sitting on my ass. You know how it is when you get them sickle cell crisis and all you can do is sit down and just deal with it. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up just sitting down and I had to just deal with it. But I'm grateful because some things came out of that for me, and I want to share them with y'all out there. So I appreciate you for tuning in and watching. I do have notes, so just bear with me on that little tip right there while I get myself together. So like I said, I'm thankful because I put a lot of wear and tear on my body. I'm 5'1.5", maybe 5'2" on my license plate, on my license. And my recent weigh-in, I was 104 pounds. So I put a lot of wear and tear on this body, you know, doing a lot of things I shouldn't have done, enjoying a lot of unhealthy vices over the years. I would just wake up and repeat the same routine over and over each day, just really not even having no real direction at a certain age and point. I had allowed myself to believe that my family didn't need me anymore. My daughters were, you know, independent. My husband, he's pretty much always been self-sufficient. So during a certain time, I realized I was in a fog. You know, as much as any job would let me, if you get my drift. And I had stopped doing things that I enjoyed doing. I wasn't connecting with my friends. Excuse me. I wasn't checking in with my family. And before I knew it, I hit 50. And I knew I had to make some changes. And I knew it would take some divine intervention for the results I was looking for. So it turns out last year when COVID hit, I actually start doing a personal assessment, right? It's 2020. I was about to turn 50. So I wanted to just look in at myself and see what was really going on there. I've always been a person that would try to work on myself and get better. You know, when I'm working at a job or something, I would always try to keep myself educated on that and this and that and everything pertaining to the job and to the company, and you know, gain skills here and there and everywhere. Just, you know, I just tried to stay, and I always wanted to stay sharp. So at this particular junction, I really wasn't doing any of that. I wasn't really caring for myself like I should have been. You know, I was letting my hair go. I was not really having no type of regimen to keep my skin and body and hair and nails, you know, healthy and all that. So I decided I was gonna try to figure out what was going on. Why come I was, you know, allowing myself to get in this rut, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled in life, I guess you could say, and my soul wasn't getting no edification, no enjoyment. So I needed to check myself, right? I needed to find that balance once again, because it's not like I had never had it. I just needed to find it in this new person life has pushed me into, right? It used to be like the mother. I'm still the mother, but like they would come to me. My husband would always, you know, be surrounding me because we would be dealing with the kids and, you know, stuff like that. And now everybody was kind of moving in a different direction, I guess. So I was just like, I'm just going to do me, I guess, and sit back, enjoy these non-comforts, and go to work and come back and do it all over again. So once I did this work, I realized I was ready to make some changes. I wanted to make some changes. You know, I was smoking cigarettes, I was drinking Red Bulls, you know, just doing all kinds of stuff, not getting enough rest, not taking folic acid like I should have been. So I was ready for something to happen. I was ready to make changes. I was intending to make changes. I spent the whole 2020 just working this spiritual path program that I felt I needed to be on. I wasn't doing anything so out of the ordinary, I don't think. But it was just things that I wanted to do for myself to see where things aligned in my life and how they didn't align. And what was my motivations versus, you know, my pushbacks. Because I know in life, I mainly try to get my way. Let's just say that. I mainly try to get my way. So, right, I'm working this program, and then, boom, January 30th hits. But before that, what was interesting also, it was that Friday before that, and I was laying in bed, and I had to get ready for work. And I was in bed. I was working my morning routine. I was praying. Hold on. I can't be having So I was working my program, and I was in bed, and I was praying, and I was asking for strength to put down them cigarettes. And I was just feeling just confident that my prayer was going to be answered. And in that exact moment of 100 and total complete confidence, I felt my gut just feel like it got pulled out of me. And I went and vomited. I got up and I went and vomited. And I haven't touched a cigarette since that day. So I was like, wow, that's weird. Super weird. And I had a pack of cigarettes, as a matter of fact. And I just broke them all up. And I carried them in my robe for 2 weeks before I threw them out. And that's when I knew I was really done. I was really done. But I needed, it was divine intervention. I believe I needed that. I needed help. I couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have done it by myself, cold turkey. I had tried with the Nicorette gum and all that. So there was that. But then that Sunday, I went to work knowing I shouldn't have went to work because I was already in pain. Maybe a 7. But you know how you try to, act like you're not in pain, basically. And you try to outsmart it, try to do your little programs and talk that you do to make yourself feel like you're not about to have to go to the hospital when you know you are. So I go to work knowing I shouldn't be there. I piddle around for about 2 hours, and then I just can't take it. When I left home, it was about a 7. It was definitely a 9 when I got to work, and I needed to leave. It was definitely a 9, definitely. So then I came home and I told my husband, because when I left, I didn't tell him. Because I already knew he was going to be worried and he was going to want me to go to the hospital, so I didn't tell him. So when I got home, I told him, if I'm still in pain tomorrow, I'll definitely go. But you know, COVID's out there. I didn't want to go. Sickle cell anemia. I've been worried about this COVID since the beginning. Even though I've been going to work since the beginning, I've been the one wearing the mask. I've been the one wearing gloves. I've been the one doing the sanitation. And now they want to talk about wear gloves and sanitize everything. And here it is over a year. Because, yes, that what you cannot talk about with coworkers happened. Basically. So I didn't want to go to the hospital, but I told him if I'm not feeling good in the morning, I'll definitely go. So I took a couple Tylenol, right? That's what the pain management I was given. So I took Tylenol and I went to sleep. And I couldn't sleep good. So when I woke up in the morning, I knew it's time to go. I told my husband, and we got to the ER. And the bad thing about it, I had been so arrogant with not being healthy, not taking care of myself, that I didn't even pick a primary care physician. And I had my benefits for over 2 years. Luckily, nothing prior to that has happened, but at the same time, I had to call member services to ask them where I could go with my benefits. So we went to the ER, and after 7 hours, you know how it is, pain management, right, determine your blood type, wait on the bed, the dreaded COVID test. Yes, I got the COVID test, and I did not like that shit one bit. So, you know, things seem to be much better in the past too. I mean, from the past, because before when we used to go, when I used to have to go, I used to have to go through tons and tons of unnecessary questions and tests and this and that and the other, you know, just so they can determine that I'm having a sickle cell crisis. I know my body. I know when I'm in a sickle cell crisis. So we don't need to be going all around and about for you to catch up in order to give me pain medicine and, you know, treatment. So naturally, the main process is waiting for the bed and test results. So they got my test results, and like I said, they confirmed that my levels were extremely low and I was dehydrated on top of that. So I was like, okay, it's time. There's nothing more to do, nothing more to say. I'm going to be in the hospital overnight, and I'm going to get some blood, and I'm going to get some IVs and some pain medicine, and I'm going to come home. Well, that didn't happen. I had to be in the hospital for 4 days. I got, I don't know how many bags of IVs. And I had 2 bags of blood. And on the day I thought I was going to come home, I woke up in about the same amount of pain I had when I went in there. And I cried my little eyes out because I realized I had been neglectful and taking care of myself. And this might be the ultimate point where I'm going to need to depend on and be a burden to my family. And I didn't like the feeling of that. And it brings me back to a thought when I had my children and how immature I had acted back then, knowing damn well we all should have been dead. But that's a story for another sickle cell day. So yeah, I sat there in that room. It's about 5 a.m. and I just bawled and stuck my arm out basically, because it was that severe that I needed it to go right to the vein. Because my pain is here. Since I've gotten older, my pain is here. So sweater on. It's nothing that I always get cold. I don't know if the heat's gonna kick on or not. And then I got time to waste. So I just put my sweatshirt on. My zip up sweatshirt. So I know, like, in the winter months, I don't drink much water because I don't like to be cold. Being cold is not an option, and it's just sometimes it just makes things worse for me. So I do believe I was dehydrated, and thinking back, there was totally signs. My lips were totally chapped all the time and cracked. My veins in my hands and my arms, they were damn near popping out. And when I was talking to the doctor about it, they said that most likely because the blood was getting so backed up that it was, just putting pressure on my veins. You can definitely tell in my eyes, that always in my eyes. And I was real irritable. And some of that was because of where I guess I was at in my life. And then on top of that, I was just allowing a lot of little dumb stuff to get to me. And then I would blow up with my Aries temper, even not just to be blowing up, really. I mean, on the real. I was just blowing up just to be blowing up. Because the shit wasn't even nothing to be concerned with. But we like a good dramatization. So, we play along with people sometimes. And that was getting the best of me. I was allowing other things at work to get the best of me. And I was just fighting back for no reason. That's what I'm trying to say. I was just fighting everything for no reason. For no reason. And it was wearing and tearing me down too. And the stress of it all, I do believe, is what the final straw and blow was. Because it was a stressful week here for me and my husband and my family.